everything Trump Jr. did wrong. The story describing the meeting between a Russian lawyer and the staffers from Trump's campaign during the 2016 election cycle was only an interesting story, but Donald Trump Jr. should have revealed the meeting sooner, said former Fox News host Bill O'Reilly. O'Reilly posted a video on his website saying, "So the story is that Donald Trump Jr. and his brother-in-law Jared Kushner and Paul Manafort, who for a short time managed the Trump campaign, met with a Russian attorney who knows people in the Kremlin shortly after the Indiana primary, which pretty much sewed everything up for Trump as the Republican nominee. Now, the story is interesting," O'Reilly said. "It's interesting. Is it any more than that? No, not at this point." O'Reilly pointed out that few cable news channels describe Trump Jr.'s meeting differently. "But if you look at CNN and MSNBC, O'Reilly said, oh, Russian collusion. All of that. Okay, fine. You knew they were gonna do it," he said. "You knew the reason the New York Times dropped it when Trump came back was thinking of another news cycle here, they could resume the Russian collusion narrative. That's what's in play. Keep it going, keep it alive. Now, I don't know what happened," he said. Trump Jr. says he met with a woman because she said she had some kind of dirt on Hillary Clinton. And so they met with her, and she didn't have anything, and they talked Russian adoption for 20 minutes, and everybody split. "Okay, did that happen?" he asked. "Is that true? I have no blanking idea." That's what Trump Jr. says. He should have said it 3 months ago. You know, get it all out. Any Russian restaurant. Any Russian movie. Anything. Get it out. The New York Times published the story about Trump Jr.'s meeting Sunday, awaking some Trump critics to accuse Trump Jr. of committing treason. Since this story emerged, Trump Jr. hired a legal counsel and denied the allegations, saying that the meeting was only an effort to get opposition research, which all campaigns do. The meeting was uncovered when Kushner revised his declarations on a form required to gain security clearance. Kushner added previously unrevealed meetings, including the one with Trump Jr., Manafort and the Russian lawyer. Please share this post on Facebook if you agree with Bill O'Reilly. What is your opinion on this? Scroll down to comment below. Guest calls CNN anchor fake news, watch his reaction. CNN is falling apart. Literally. Pressure at the network is at a boiling point as scandal after scandal befalls them. Numerous leaders at CNN have been caught on hidden camera clearly stating that they make up news and report regularly on news they know to be false. Writers have been forced to resign and hosts have simply lost it on live television. Don Lemon, a host of CNN Tonight, had a complete breakdown and outburst when patrons of his show tried to bring up the fake news the network has been perpetuating and confront him on some of the issues at hand. Lemon dramatically explodes and then leaves the set. Watch video here. Lemon has made no secret of his disdain for President Donald Trump, taking shots at him every chance he gets. Lemon gets extremely frustrated when he can't get the guest on his show to agree with his point of view. However, in June, Lemon argued that liberals and progressives are the least tolerant and most easily offended when it comes to political correctness. Mediaite first reported that Lemon was addressing a rant against PC culture on college campuses that Jerry Seinfeld made. Lemon told listeners of Black America Web that people in America need to stop looking for reasons to be offended. The far-left liberal news host said, "After almost 25 years in the news business, you know who is the most easily offended and the least tolerant, liberals and progressive, because many of them don't really want to hear anyone else's opinion but their own," he continued. "Here's a tip, if you only agree with people who hold your same political affiliation or who are of your particular race, gender or ethnicity, you are part of the political correctness run-amok problem. You are actually thwarting progress instead of advancing." He did. Trump issues powerful order to take down source groups. Liberals are furious. When your ultimate goal is the destruction of America, you cannot stand a patriot like President Trump. ProPublica, a George Soros-backed media organization, is in a panic after President Trump appointed Lee Francis Cisna to run United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, via Dennis Michael Lynch. The far-left media organization is attacking President Trump for enforcing existing immigration laws and appointing the first person with experience in immigration policy to head the USCIS. ProPublica is also expressing outrage over the order issued by President Trump, which instructs Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, agents to do their jobs. In particular, the media group is troubled by an order issued by Matthew Albanese, the head of Enforcement and Removal Operations Division, instructing his 5,700 deportation officers to deport illegal immigrants. The memo reads, effective immediately, ERO officers will take enforcement action against all removable aliens encountered in the course of their duties. ProPublica is troubled that ICE is going beyond the original order issued by President Trump tasking immigration officials with rooting out criminal aliens. While illegal aliens with criminal records should be ICE's first priority, it is important to note that all illegal aliens have violated the law. George Soros is a megalomaniac billionaire who disguises himself as a caring progressive. The former Nazi and hedge fund director makes his money by betting against thriving economies before attempting to undermine them. Soros made his biggest score when he broke the Bank of England in 1992. Generating over £1.5 billion, via The Independent. Now, George Soros is attempting to do the same thing in America. The hedge fund billionaire has made a $55 billion bet, or short, in the hopes that the American economy would fail. To further the destruction of America, Soros funds politicians and organizations that undermine the fabric of American society, via MarketWatch. This is why he spent over $10 million financing the Hillary Clinton election campaign and other anti-American propaganda networks like ProPublica. President Trump should launch an investigation into the nefarious habits of George Soros before the billionaire's bet can be realized. What do you think about this comment? WikiLeaks exposes it was Hillary who met secretly with a foreign ambassador. So with all this infinite talk of fake Trump-Russia conspiracy theories, how ironic is it that there is smoking gun proof that it was the Hillary campaign that secretly met with a foreign government official pre-election? WikiLeaks has exposed that a private, off-the-record meeting was set up with the Clinton campaign and Chinese ambassador Qi. So while Don Jr. met with a Russian lawyer that was not working for the Russian government at the time, Hillary met with a Chinese ambassador who was. So how come these Democrats and media pundits who are foolishly calling Don Jr.'s meeting treason are not calling Hillary names 1000x worse? Hypocrites. At slain cop's funeral, Niped boss brings cops to their feet with one question for anti-cop protesters. During the funeral for slain Niped officer Mayazotis Familia on Tuesday, Niped Commissioner James O'Neill delivered an emotional eulogy to a captivated audience and challenged anti-cop protesters. Familia, a single mother of 3, was assassinated by a deranged gunman, who shot her while she filled out paperwork in a police truck. So where were the demonstrations for this single mom, who cared for her elderly mother and her own 3 children? O'Neill asked, receiving a standing ovation from those in attendance. The Niped commissioner went on to say there is pain and sorrow over Familia's death, but there is no outrage. Because Mayazotis was wearing a uniform? Because it was her job? I simply do not accept that, he added. Mayazotis was targeted, ambushed, and assassinated. She wasn't even given a chance to defend herself. That should matter to every single person who can hear my voice in New York City and beyond. O'Neill then asked the public to make a commitment to support your police, to work with us because as long as there is evil, Americans will need the police. To the men and women of the Niped who bravely put on that uniform every day, and they do, it takes courage, and to all those who have come before us, thank you for your dedication, your leadership, and your powerful example, he concluded. Liberals blocked a car. Soon found out it was a diplomatic vehicle. A video shared on Facebook this month has gone viral, showing some German protesters learning the hard way that blocking a diplomatic vehicle is not a smart idea. In the incident that happened in Hamburg, Germany, the protesters made a human wall to spread some kind of message, but unfortunate for them they had stopped a diplomatic vehicle. This year's G20 summit in Hamburg awoke a series of protests, that some of them were violent and the security that had a job to protect the lives of diplomats weren't happy at all. They showed that there is only one way to break up a roadblock that refuses to break up, and that is to step on the gas. The driver warned the protesters but they didn't seem to care, they just clapped. The driver lost his patience because the protesters didn't want to break up, so he ran the barricade and smashed one bicycle in the way. In the United States is the same story. The protesters who are blocking the streets are not that innocent, they are disturbing people's lives and sometimes that can be harmful. Please share this post on Facebook if you think the driver did the right thing. What is your opinion on this? Scroll down to comment below.